Hi, welcome to my channel, Takoyaki Tarot. Today is November 1st, Friday, 2024. Halloween was yesterday. Today is now November. And my birthday is in 4 days. Woohoo! Scorpio season. Alright, so before I get started, I want to remind anyone that's watching that these messages are not going to resonate with everyone, and that's okay. If they resonate with you, gives you clarity, great. If it does not, then don't force it to be your story. I had a dream last night. It was actually very interesting. Obviously, there were many layers, blah, blah, blah. But what was interesting to me was I was like in a room, right? And in front of me, there were like these like contracts or something, and it wasn't like I was obligated to sign them. Like it was like a choice if I wanted to sign them or not. I didn't sign them in the dream, right? I don't know. I just be doing things like that. But the whole thing was like, I was having like that's my daughter in the background, so it's fine. The contract was for like. It was like a bunch of, so you know how for protection, whatever, people get like security guards and bodyguards and like Secret Service and all that stuff like that, like, right? It was for that. It was for me to have a bunch of bodyguards and like Secret Service men, just to like, for like protection, I guess. So like everywhere I would go, they would be there. Right, they would always be around in my vicinity. It was like that. It was like I was getting assigned like a bunch of like bodyguards or like Secret Service or like, but for protection, right? So there was a bunch of other stuff happening in the dream, but that was like one of the biggest things that like popped out because it was like one of the first things that happened in the dream. And it's so funny because in the entire dream, like I didn't sign the papers, but I had the papers with me. I was like everywhere in the dream I had the papers with me because it's like even though I didn't sign them, they were still being assigned to me. All right, so I don't know, I guess it was more like for like the contract was like it was like one of those things that were gonna happen regardless, like whether or not I signed it, I was gonna get assigned a bunch of bodyguards, right? But I guess it was just going to be, it would be more for like liability or like just liability issues, I guess, just in case, right? But bless you. Bless you. You're welcome. But like it didn't really matter if I signed them or not because they were going to be assigned to me anyways, you know, so. I don't know. I thought that was very interesting. So, you're getting something.
Mama?
Yes, my love. You want the pen?
No.
Okay.
Mama?
Yes, baby.
I like the fish.
No, because we literally put like 12 of those things on there for you. You have plenty. I promise you.
It's a fish.
No, baby, you have like 6 other fishes.
Fishes?
So I feel like a lot of you are gonna be getting something, whether or not, I feel like it's just something that's like guaranteed to be yours, right? And I feel like the contract is just like a sign of formality. It's just like, you know, like liability or formality just to have it on paper or something like that, right? But it's gonna be yours no matter what. It's you know, you have it, you're getting it, right? Whether this is like protection. Oh, finally, that thing was like super hot. Whether it's like protection, a union, finances, an inheritance, whatever. All right. But in the dream, it was like a bunch of they were like men dressed in suits, like black suits, and then they had like the black sunglasses, and then they had like the earpiece, right? And they were like being assigned to like So like wherever I go, it was like, you know, I don't want to say like celebrity status because that's so stupid, but that's kind of like what it was. So like if I was like to walk over here, they would be around in the vicinity, but like not to like where I would be annoyed by their presence, but they'd be around, you know. I don't know, I thought that was very interesting. Yeah, there was a lot of stuff in that dreams too. There was like people arguing in the dream. Yeah. Alright. So, let me start pulling cards. What's my... It's Friday morning. Yeah, there was like a little spider around here crawling. He made a web. I'm just trying to see which oh, never mind. This one. I haven't used this one in a while. This is my... Hold on. I don't even... Angels and Ancestors. It's the Angels and Ancestors deck. Hold on, I gotta open that. Pumpkin pie, mommy has to open, okay?
Hey!
I have to open. Great teacher, learn from spiritual experiences. There's like ash everywhere. So you could be a teacher. I feel like for a lot of you, you're like a teacher of love, a teacher of peace, right? Because there's like there's like the flower behind the dove, but it's actually really like sacred geometry. Oh, it's actually the same flower on here. You see the pattern? This pattern is this pattern. It's the same pattern, right? It's just sacred geometry. Yeah, so you could be teaching people, you could be a teacher of like love and peace, right? How to be free, how to let go, how to find your freedom, how to find your peace, how to find love within oneself, right? Compassionate, you know, how to be compassionate. That's so for some of you, you have like a lot of protection around you, so that way you can like continue this your teachings, whatever your teachings are, right? But it's really for the betterment of humanity, right? For people's highest good. So it's to ensure that whatever you're teaching people, you continue to do that, right? Like your purpose. You continue to follow your purpose. don't know if I need to pull more. No. I'm done with this deck already. I'm gonna get one of these. Love, I told you. Love. You are a great teacher of love. That's what you be teaching. That's what your purpose is. You're a teacher of love. Alright? May you dive deep into your passion. You're teaching people how to love themselves, how to find love. And I'm not talking about like dating or anything like that. Like how to see love in the world, you know, how to fall in love with life, how to, you know, see the interconnectedness of life and how it's connected to the trees and, you know, the grass and the birds and, you know, with yourself and 1122, right? How everything is all connected, right? Again, with this flower, right? This is the trees, the wind is blowing like crazy right now.
How is the wind blowing?
I know, baby. It is super, super windy. It's okay. It's okay. Alright, so I feel like you just teach people that your energy, your aura, your vibration is just like you vibrate out of love. Like that's I know the heart chakra is green, which is interesting too because this is green. This is also about moving forward, right? You also teach people how to move forward with their life within themselves, right? And a lot of it is like you heal people with love. You teach them about love, you heal them with love, you help them move forward, you help them dig deep within themselves to figure out what it is that they truly want, who they really are, how to heal, how to move forward. And you know, once it's all just one big. So when I say interconnectedness, right, think of it as like a tubing system or something. I don't know, like I don't know, traffic. Let's look at it like traffic. Okay, so when the traffic is good, the cars are flowing, right? It's fine, like, you know, red light, green light, all the cars are going. But when there's a traffic jam, think of it as like a clog, right? That clog would be like grief or stress or guilt or pain, suffering, shame, whatever, right? It's a think of traffic jams as like a clog, right? And you have to like unclog it. You have to fix that, right? Or like your veins, right? If you have a blood clot, you have to fix that, right? 1333, you have to fix that. But it's kind of like in like a spiritual sense, I guess, when it comes to like you have like blocks inside your body, like this is over here, like your heart is blocked because there's like a lot of pain, right? Your throat is blocked because maybe you don't know how to speak up for yourself or say what you want to say, right? Your head is blocked because you're confused and you're having mental whatever, right? Your root is blocked because, you know, your foundations were whacked out and now you have trouble figuring out who you are and what's going on and where you come from, right? Your solar plexus is blocked, and because of that, it's like you can't make your wishes come true, right? It's like that. So think of it like that. So you just see it like that, right? And you just unblock those things, right? And then the flow starts happening, right? The interconnectedness of life, right? So like if a tree is rotten, right, but the soil is good, but the tree is rotten, a tree can't grow. So you get rid of that tree, you get rid of the block, you get rid of the clog, the mold, right? You get rid of it, and then you plant a new tree, and now the tree can grow. It's not the soil, right? It's what's on that soil that's blocking it, right? So I feel like that's what you do, and you could do that very well. It's like second nature to you, blah 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 blah. You just be teaching people, right? So that's that. I like this reading so far. It's so drama free. It's very simple. She's playing a game in the background. Excuse me. Excuse me. Hold on. I asked her to turn it down. She goes, sure. Alright. Huh?
What's that?
What's what? You had, oh, that's your breakfast.
Oh.
So, let's say, because I wanted to use this as an example, right? It's all flowing, connected, right? Blah 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 blah. But let's say there's that part is like dark. It's a clog, right? And then that's a clog. So this cannot flow properly. So what you undo, you figure out the clog, you figure out what's going on, why it's there, how it's there, and then you remove it. And then boom, now this circle, this flower can flow efficiently, right? That's it. Right? With the blood clot, you drain it, you figure out what's going on, right? Traffic jam. There's probably a dog in the road, and that's why there's a traffic jam. So you gotta scooch the dog, or like an old lady's trying to cross the street, right? Or maybe there was an accident, right? It's just, right? You gotta figure out why nothing's growing on the soil, right? Is it underneath the soil? Is it on the soil? Is it above the soil? You gotta figure it out, and then you can move forward. That's it. Simple. Alright, so now I'm gonna jump into tarot. Yeah, that wind is winding. Like all the leaves are blowing and trees are shaking. So like it's sunny, but there's also like a dark cloud as well. So you could have like a sunny disposition despite all the tumultuous storms that are around you. I can't use this deck.
Rainbow? Rainbow! I'm huge. Not a rainbow.
I'll get 6. 1, 2, 3, 4. Five. 6. So first and foremost, for you, your karmic debt has been resolved. So you're good. So you can follow your purpose. You can do what you got to do. You cleared up whatever you had to clear up in your energy. Whatever you owed, you took care of that. Blah, 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 blah. You're good, right? So I feel like that's one of the biggest reasons why you're being assigned this, I don't know, service detail, this protection, whatever. So that way it's like, well, they're good now. So now we just got to do what we got to do, which is just protect them while they continue to do whatever it is that they have to do, which is be a great teacher of love, right? That's it. Because it says karmic debt resolved. I do got to, you know what? I have a pen right here. I could just fix that. Oops. There you go. Karmic debt resolved.
Uh-oh.
So, and then it says listen to God. So you could be in direct communication with the Most High God, right? That's what you're listening to. It's so funny because I think it was in yesterday's reading where I was talking about how there's something about the collective being flowy. And in the Bible, there's a passage that talks about, what does it say? It says something about being able to speak to God when you reach the air or something like that, right? And air would be like the highest element when you reach enlightenment. Alright? That's a whole thing. I'm not going to get into it. Alright.
Mama.
Yes, my love.
I miss.
You're all done?
No. I miss you.
Let me see. Hold on. Oh, never mind. She left. It says, you're not missing out on anything. And then it says, it's not the dead they fear, it's God. So,
Here's one donut.
now we got the letter J and the letter B. Could be somebody's first, last, middle, initial name of a word or a place. So, I feel like you being this great teacher, teaching people about love and how to listen to the Most High God and how to clear up their karmic debt and how to like go towards their passions and you know what makes them feel free. So, that would be you helping people unclog their flow system. Those people are realizing that they're not really missing out on much. When you hold on tight to the world too much, right? There's a reason for that, right? But realistically, you got to realize that it's not. You cannot love God and love the world at the same time. The world does not love you, right? The world will use you, abuse you, and confuse you. But if you listen to God and you follow your heart, the world can't harm you, hurt you, confuse you. So I feel like you just teach people about that. And once you realize that it's really just, it's not that deep with the world, like you don't have to be so connected or so attached to the world, you realize there really isn't much you're missing out on. Right? All the trends, the reality shows, the parties, excuse me.
Mama.
Excuse me. Yes, baby.
I want
Hold on.
I want yogurt.
Baby, okay, we'll have to get yogurt, but finish your breakfast. I don't know, like the cars, the clothes, the jewelry, that doesn't really mean much, alright? So then you start realizing that you're not missing out on anything, because it doesn't really mean anything. So it says you're not missing out on anything, right? And you start realizing how vapid and shallow the majority of humanity are. They just fill their time and space with things that they can't even take with them in the afterlife. They can't, right? It's not the dead they fear, it's God. And a lot of the times, like, these people, like, they're just scared and lost children. And some people just live their life like that until, you know, they're old and wrinkly, and then they pass away and they die, and like they've done nothing, they've produced nothing, they've not been productive, you know, so they gotta die and come back and do it again, die, come back and do it again, die, come back and do it again. Or they're not doing anything of service that's of value to humanity, to like help raise a vibration of humanity, to help, you know, the collective as a whole, you know, do what we're here to do. So, And when you start realizing that, like, there's like a bunch of people out there that they just don't really care about being their highest self, being the best version of themselves that they can possibly be. They don't care about operating out of love. They don't care about, figuring out what makes them happy, what makes them get up every day. That you realize being around that is not enough for you, right? The shallowness, the vapidness, the constant day-to-day nothings of repeats every single day and not doing anything productive, and you waste your day and then you go to bed and you're feeling like you've done nothing productive, right? So, but when you operate out of love and you heal yourself and you do what you got to do and then you step into your purpose, every day feels productive. It feels full, right? It feels of value, right? I'm not saying the person, I'm saying what they're doing feels of value, like they're actually doing something meaningful, something important, something that is useful, right? Even if it's just helping somebody cross the street. You did something, you helped somebody cross the street, right? Versus, waiting in your car, honking at the person, waiting for them to cross the street. You're not really doing anything. Or you can just get out your car, help them cross the street, and boom, you got the flow of traffic going again, right? So I feel like you be teaching people that, and then what you teach people, those people are realizing these things around them, right? I feel like it's so interesting because people are more afraid of God than they are of like dying, because, and people can say like, no, I'm more afraid of, but realistically it's because you have to, it's God you have to face. Right? So God is the final judgment call. Like he's gonna. Anyways, let me move on. So we got the letters J and B. Could be somebody's first, last, middle, initial name of a word or a place. All right. I need to make sure of something before I say it. Maybe you should read the book of Jonah in the Bible. Isn't that the one with the whale? Yeah, the book of Jonah. Jonah was one of the 12 minor prophets of the Nevi'im in the Hebrew Bible. Blah, 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 blah. A disobedient prophet who rejected his divine commission was cast overboard in a storm and swallowed by a great fish, rescued in a marvelous manner. Recounts remarkable experiences with storms at sea, being eaten by a fish, and plants that miraculously grow and die in a day. So, you could be teaching about love and someone, oh my god. Alright, so let's say you are a teacher, right? And then you're supposed to have like a counterpart that is also supposed to be a teacher, right? But whatever happened, that counterpart, who was supposed to also be a great prophet, decided to, like, I don't want to listen to God, right? So God was like, okay, well, if you don't want to listen to me, you're about to go through a bunch of stuff, right? So this is, you could be teaching about love, walking in your purpose, and there's somebody around you that, like, rejected their purpose or is rejecting it, right? I'm also getting that you're teaching people, like, if these are people that rejected their purpose and they no longer want to do that, or trying to, like, get back in with God, you could be, like, heading towards their path to, like, teach them, but they have to, like, start all over. The main message in Jonah's, the theme of Jonah is God's saving mercy toward the nations of the world. Yeah, the version of Jonah us were taught in Sunday school is that it is a message about the need to obey God. The prophets refused to do what God told him. Yeah, it was there for 3 days and 3 nights, right? So the main message is you can't outrun God.
Okay.
Did Jonah have a brother?
Hooray!
That's crazy because it says it's not the fear, it's not the dead they fear, it's God. Realistically, nobody can outrun God. And if anything, Jonah, the book of Jonah, is like a perfect example of like you can't outrun God. For some of you too, you could have like not wanted to be this teacher, or you're trying not to be this teacher, but it's happening no matter what. It is what it is. Like, for a lot of you too, you're also realizing that there's a lot of things in this world that really doesn't matter. What really matters is you following your purpose and just listening to God, and like there really is no point in outrunning God. So I'm also getting, because there's a card that says Crimes of Passion right on the bottom of the deck. I'll show you. Like that. Careful. So I do feel like if you're in your purpose, there could be somebody around you. They're very passionate about you not being in this purpose. You not being a great teacher. And for a while, maybe they could have convinced you to not follow your purpose, not be a great teacher. But like the book of Jonah, it just proves like you cannot outrun God. Like if God wants you to do this, God wants you to be a great teacher of love, then that's what you're going to be, right? God's going to make sure that it happens. And I feel like now that this is happening for you, now that you're doing this, you're realizing that, wow, nothing else really matters. Ugh, gift. Yeah, this is a gift. You're also being gifted with something. For some of you, with family room in reverse, you're going to have to realize that there's going to be some people that are close to you, whether they're family, friends, neighbors, coworkers, business partner, whatever, right? Take it how it resonates. You're going to have to walk away from them, especially as you come into your gifts or a gift. Because at the end of the day, it's like your gifts, not only is it not going to benefit these people, but at the same time, these people are going to want to exploit that. Whether it's money, whether it's like a gift, like a Claire or something, right? Or like you being psychic or some shit like that, right? I also feel like one of the lessons that you're learning is how to love yourself. That's going to protect you from being exploited as you come into your gift, as you receive this gift. I'm hearing listen, just shh, listen, listen, just listen, shh, listen. Yeah, I keep hearing that you can't outrun God. There's sirens in the background. That's it. Okay, I was gonna do tarot, so I also feel like for a lot of you, it's kind of like one of those things like you're receiving a gift from the Most High, right? And with that gift, you have to you share it, right? So like if you have the gift of love, your purpose is to share love, right? To help people. I do feel for like a lot of you, like I'm hearing with great power comes great responsibility. Whatever gift that you're getting, you know how to maintain it. You know how to be responsible with it. All right. And there's something about a light turning on. It could be like an idea. Like you're getting an idea, or you have ideas. I'm also getting that in the background there's a weird karmic feminine that has ideas of her own for your gifts, which I was kind of just saying that you have to be careful, because there are some people that are going to want to exploit you for your gifts, right? And for some of you it could be like a mom, like you know how like it's always like those moms that put their kids into like the industry and showbiz, and like they'll have them do all these interviews and morning shows and concerts and things like that. They're basically exploiting their own children. So you just have to be careful, right? Because there could be like a karmic feminine or like a karmic mother figure around you that wants to exploit your gifts or whatever it is that you have coming your way, or whatever it is that you have, or this idea that you have, right? But they're in their mind, they have a bright idea, because to them it's a bright idea, to exploit whatever it is that you have. They want to exploit it. Whether it's for good or bad, I don't know. But, I mean, if you're getting exploited, it's not good. I don't care how anybody tries to switch that. It's not good. And Ten of Wands. What happened to Jonah? Okay, so I saw 11:33 and now I just saw my phone. It's 11:44. I'm just gonna do a quick skim. Was it I guess whale is a fish. So Jonah is a prophet. So Jonah was supposed to go to Nineveh, a great Assyrian city, and prophesy disaster because of the blah, 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 blah. So I feel like if you were ever trying to outrun God, you were just realizing that was just causing so much burdens and struggles and stress and burdens and struggles and stress. Like, it's kind of like one of those things, like, the more you outran God, the more obstacles and things will put in your way, because it's kind of like you're going the wrong way. And because you're going the wrong way, I'm going to show you that it's the wrong way. I'm going to show you how difficult it is to disobey me, versus the bright light path of love. So whoever this person is, whoever's being taught, or whoever this teacher is, they were realizing that by disobeying God and disobeying like whatever's in their heart and what they truly love and desire and their passions and their freedom and their peace, by disobeying that, they're just making things more difficult, or they were making things more difficult for themselves. This could be you, right? You're just not realizing that, like, wow, it's just all you gotta do is listen to God. That's it. That's how easy it is. Yeah, that's how easy it is. All you gotta do is listen to God, and you won't be suffering and burdened as much as you are because you're not listening. Just listen. It's not hard.
You were going.
Yes, my pumpkin. Blah 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 blah.
Ba ba ba.
Blah 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 blah.
Ba 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 ba.
Blah 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 blah.
Ba ba ba.
Blah 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 blah.
Ba ba ba.
Ding dong 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 dong. Life not there. Hated foreign city. So I guess it was a Leviathan that swallowed him. The monster of the deep, used elsewhere in the Old Testament as the embodiment of evil, symbolizes the nation's exile and return. Wait. Hold on. Disaster because of the city's excessive wickedness. Jonah in the story feels about, as he does about the author, that the city must inevitably fall because of God's judgment against this. Hold on, I gotta read this. Alright, so another thing, so basically, God told Jonah to go to the city of Nineveh, which is like a great Assyrian city. He's like, go to them and tell them to repent because I'm about to cast judgment and like basically get rid of them all. But Jonah was like, I don't want to. I don't even like them. Let them perish. Blah, 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 blah. So he goes on a ship and tries to go to like a different place called Joppa. There's like sirens in the background. He ends up going to like Joppa, or tries to. And then as he's on the ship, there's like this great storm, blah, 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 blah. So that he confesses, and he's like, the reason why the storm is happening is because I'm on the boat, so if you want the storm to pass, just throw me overboard. And they're like, okay, and once they throw him overboard, the storm passes, or the storm stops, right? Then the fish swallows him for like 3 days and 3 nights, and then spits him out, vomits him on land. And then again, God's telling him, go to Nineveh. And Jonah is like, all right, fine, whatever, I'll go. So then he tells everybody what happens, which allows them to repent. They all repent, right? The city, town, whatever, of Nineveh. They all repent. And Jonah's like bitter about that. He's really bitter about that. Like, he sits outside the city waiting to see if they're still going to get the judgment that God had wanted for them. But I guess it doesn't happen. And so he's outside of the place, Nineveh. And then, like, there's like a sun. It's like really, really... it's like the heat is too much, so then like God makes a plant grow so that Jonah can have like some shade from the sun's heat and all that during the day, and then at night the plant like goes away, right? Like a worm eats the plant or whatever. But then that makes Jonah sad, right? Because the plant is like gone, and like that bothers Jonah, and God's basically telling him, you're sad because as quickly as that plant sprung up, it got demolished, right? So it's no different of me, with this town or city of Nineveh, right? They're just as quickly as they sprung up, they still don't know their right hand from their left. So you cannot blame them because they don't understand what they're doing. Even though they're a town of wickedness, don't blame them because they don't understand what it is that they're doing and how wicked they are. That's basically the whole point, right? So I feel like for a lot of you, you're also like teaching people who, I feel like for some of you, if you're a teacher, you could be a little bitter teaching other people about love, especially people who like, if God already told them what they had to do, but then they were like, no, right? But then they're realizing that they can't outrun God. So you could be a little bitter about that and not want to teach people. But it's kind of like that's your gift. You're supposed to, right? You can't be mad at them for outrunning God, especially if they're here now. Now they want to be in their purpose, right? You cannot blame them. Like, your gift is just to teach people about love and to help them with their purpose and to help them grow in the betterment of humanity, blah, 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 right? So it's kind of like that. Like, Jonah was a prophet, and he didn't want to do what God told him to do just because he felt some type of way about who he had to deliver the message to, right? So I feel like for a lot of you too, you could be feeling some type of way, like, I don't want to teach them, I don't want to be their teacher, I don't want to be their mentor. But God's like, it doesn't matter. Like, forgive them because they know not what they do. So that's pretty much the whole thing. Right? The Knight of Wands. So this could be somebody younger than you, or people that are younger than you, or you're just supposed to help people find their way with the Knight of Wands. Help them go to the beat of their own drum, right? Help them realize that there really is nothing to be afraid of in this world aside from the Most High God. Like, that's how it should be. Wow. Five of Cups reverse. You could be teaching people how to release their guilt, their burdens, their suffering, their sadness. Two of Swords reverse. Yeah, it's like you're removing confusion, illusions, right? You're helping people with the Knight of Wands. I feel like also too with the Knight of Wands is someone who like knows exactly what they want and where they're gonna go. But you can't do that. You can't go where you want to go if you don't know where you want to go, right? But with the Two of Swords reversed, I feel like you're helping people find out exactly what drives them, what their passion is, what brings them peace, what brings them joy, right? What fills them up with love, right? It's you're lifting the confusion, right? And remember, God, our God, the Most High God, is not a God of confusion. All right, so jot that down. Not a God of confusion, right? If you're confused, then you need to ask and pray to God for discernment, because God is not going to confuse you, right? If it does not bring you peace, if it does not bring you happiness, if it does not bring you joy, then you need to figure out what that is, because it's causing a blockage. King of Wands landed on the letter J. But the King of Wands is up right now. So this King of Wands is now ambitious. They now know exactly where they're going. So they went from being burdened to being upright. All right? They're very confident now. They're standing in their purpose. Could be a leader now, a leader of the pack, a leader of themselves, a leader in general. Right? I don't know why, but every time I see the King of Wands, I feel like the next step for the King of Wands is like the Emperor. I always see the Emperor as like before he was an Emperor, he was a King of Wands, and obviously like before the King of Wands, like with karmic, right? So you could be teaching people, or you could be, you could be teaching a King of Wands, or you are this King of Wands, that this is your purpose, right? You help people break through from their burdens, their suffering, their confusion, their illusions, and, focus on exactly what they need to be focused on. The Ten of Cups. That's emotional bliss, emotional fulfillment, happiness, love, family, union, peace, right? That's really the goal at the end of the day, right? That's really the goal, just to be happy, to be at peace, to be fulfilled. That's the goal, right? That's the gift. The gift of life is love and peace and happiness and joy, right? Anyways, this is a reading. Hope it helps. Bye.